matching hundreds. It's the coach, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Seattle Seahawks. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. These folks love their football in Seattle. This was the scene a moment ago as the home squad came out of the tunnel, and it was just absolutely deafening in this building. They're set for football, so are we, as the Seahawks get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Seahawks offense led out by number 3, Russell Wilson, the franchise's all-time leader in touchdown passes. And the Seahawks, they finished above 500 in all 7 of Wilson's seasons. But this year a little different. He'll work with a very young receiving core, no Doug Baldwin anymore, in what promises to be a tough NFC West. They go play action here on first down. And it's hauled in by Ed Dixon. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards. That's some early fireworks on the first play from scrimmage.
The last fireworks I saw, July 4th, okay? Here they are celebrating the start of this game the exact same way. Explosive right out of the gate.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. And we take a look at the offense for the Seahawks.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Stop your whining. Check. Cross.
He'll find Metcalf. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll make it 3rd down. The pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. That's complete into the hands of Carson. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this will remain a scoreless game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
The 49er offense, they're coming back out onto the field, and we're going to give you a look at the playoff picture now into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that number 1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that number 1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a man who really stepped up last year. This is Matt Breida. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Matt Breida out of Georgia Southern now in his 3rd year in a 49er uniform. He was tough to keep off the field last year. Very good yards per carry. 5.3 on 153 attempts. Good for over 800 yards rushing. Garoppolo finding his tight end Kittle. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Goodwin able to haul it in. And he's able to pick up the 1st down before he's tackled right at the 10. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving.
Here we go, here we go.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
1st down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Garoppolo looks to throw. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. N'Keal Harry, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So this drive spans 7 plays, and the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. But there's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball?
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
This one into the hands of Metcalf. A look now at the starters on this 49er defense. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. On second down now, it's Carson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
The numbers on the ground for Carson last week, 19 carries, a touchdown to go along with 124 yards.
And the way they ran the ball last week has to bring a smile to the faces of the entire coaching staff, because not only are they seeing a back pile up yardage, they're seeing an offensive line in sync, and that bodes well this late in the season.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. The rookie DK Metcalf, the intended receiver, and now it's third down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Here's Wilson, and he's got Lockett. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Tyler Lockett with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and we are tied at 7. A drive that time of 6 plays. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And it all culminates with a Seattle score. Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll try and run for it here. It's Coleman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10 and a 49er first down. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
Right back to Coleman here on first down. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And hopefully for both sides, not a sign of things to come, Charles. This morning, it was so perfect outside, but we knew this weather was coming, and we see the effects of it here early on.
And I wonder if how perfect it was this morning has psychologically fooled everyone. You know, it's almost like even though we were told the weather was coming, and you know the teams knew it as well, then maybe they got fooled and thought, it's going to be okay. And now they're probably a little upset that it's out there.
Because warm-ups were dry.
Oh, well, dry. Now you've got to make the change up, and it's the first quarter. Might take them a little time to settle in on their focus and concentration.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run it with Carson. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Fourth down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. 7-7, our score after one. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. From the 16, Garoppolo. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And the return will stop right around the 25.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
Now it's Carson. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
This is Carson. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Wilson. He's going to go up top for the end zone. 4th down now as San Fran's defense was strong in coverage. They're going for a receiver there. Already has 1 touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Garoppolo on 1st down. He'll get this into the hands of Breida. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there. At his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit. but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Garoppolo hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Garoppolo again. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo got a man open. That's Harry. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. And he will find his receiver, Pettis, for a 49ers touchdown. Jimmy Garoppolo with his 2nd touchdown pass of this first half. And once again, the 49ers are back out in front. On those slants, everything happens so quickly. What makes it work?
The timing between the passer and the receiver. In this case, a slant route ordinarily is probably about 3 steps before you go on the slant. In this amount of time, I think it was a 2-step deal. Boom, put his foot in the ground and got inside for the pass.
Got inside for the pass, got inside for the catch and the score. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his. Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. Way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here comes Pettis on the return. A good return there. 17 yards. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. On the NFL scoreboard, an update from Los Angeles. It's the Rams that have grabbed the early lead. Jared Goff with 2 first-half touchdown passes. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, gun.
Mike 50, Mike 50. You remember me?
Stick.
Hey.
A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. Deep ball for Goodwin. And that's caught. Inside the 30. Touchdown, 49ers. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the 49ers are able to strike quickly for 6. Well, I love watching Goodwin play. Of course, everybody knows the story of him being an Olympian. He's a long jumper, right?
Yes.
But you know that he has that athleticism, that big playability.
He certainly does. And not only was he an Olympian as a long jumper, married to a sprinter. How about that for speed in one family? And I love his end zone celebrations now. When he does go deep and beat someone for a touchdown, now he does the long jump as his celebration. Pretty cool deal.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Throwing is Wilson. It's complete to Lockett. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball in a passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well. Great.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Nick Bosa, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
They'll start out on the ground with Coleman. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Deep. It got his man. Complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 34. They'll run with Coleman on 1st down. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a first down. Kittle last year, what a season. 1,377 receiving yards, an NFL record for tight ends en route to his first Pro Bowl. Not bad for the former fifth-round pick. I remember that game. And he hauls it in the end zone. Touchdown, San Francisco. Touchdown pass number 4 of the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Gold to add the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season, but you read the local paper this morning. There was no talk of that mark. They interviewed him, and he wasn't talking about 1,000 yards. The old cliche focused on this game. If he has a big one, might be able to get the win and 1,000 yards.
Seems like he just wants to let it come to him, right, as opposed to trying to force it. And that's probably the right idea and the right attitude. So game situation, play calling will dictate things. Now, how does he get there once he tries to get hot? Formations, route running, trying to get mismatches for him, different types of routes he will run downfield, short, medium, long. All those things will come into play as he tries to get to that magical number.
On 2nd and 2, Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. 49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends.
50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Yeah. You don't want none.
Hey, Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
They'll throw now on the final play. Looking for Harry. He airs it out deep. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll send you eastward to Orlando, standing by with that EA Sports halftime. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast. Forward to the beginning of the second half. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This fielded at the 2. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 4. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. And it's caught by Saleh. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. First down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. He's already fumbled once in this game, and I thought the ball started to jostle there a little bit, but they got to him quickly at the line of scrimmage.
They sure did. And remember, if you're not a very confident runner and you've already dropped it once, if there's traffic around you, the only thing you think about is protecting the football, not gaining yards. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
It's our time. It's our time.
Ready? Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Got his man. That's Harry. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Ready. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 2nd down, it's Coleman. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Last year's NFL leader in field goal percentage, Robbie Gould, on for the Niners field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. CD, you know, there were quite a few Bears fans back in January saying, why didn't we hold on to that Robbie Gould guy?
Well, it's a legitimate question. 33 of 34 for San Francisco in 2018. The crazy stat of the year, he missed more extra points, 2, than he did field goals, 1, in the 2018 season.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll find Metcalf. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
Here we go. Kill. Turn it up. Kill.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ronald Blair, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Well, they tried to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly.
He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, 49ers. Tevin Coleman. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive. Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets him 6. And he's got his target. That's more. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wilson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Wilson, blitz coming, and down he goes. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Well, sometimes those punt returns can yield some unnecessary roughness penalty.
Now, I know a lot of guys, when they run a long way to execute a block or make a hit, they're going to launch it no matter what, and it can often cost them.
Mullins and the Niners now with a 1st and 10 at their own 43. Mostert. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now we've got whistles and a timeout here. Yeah, looks like we've got a 49er that's down on the field. And in Week 17, let's hope this won't affect him for the playoffs. We'll step aside.
Let's go.
A first carry for Samaje Perine. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 14. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Mullins now. 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And he's going to have the hook up here with Harry. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Mike 50, Mike 50. Watch the screen, watch the
2nd and 1. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Bobby Wagner, the former 2nd rounder out of Utah State with a sack.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player. I think a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
Ain't no such thing as a loss.
Ready?
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 now on the season. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's 2nd and goal. 2nd and 11. And he rifles one incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? They'll set up a throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Seattle offense. We take a peek at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. Going to throw again. It's caught. Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Wilson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Here's Wilson to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Carson. No gain at all on the play there, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones, and it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it number 1 for what we've seen this season.
And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a 1st down, 49ers.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
On the ready.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
Big trip.
That was first carry for Donnell Pumphrey. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
Hey, seam 6. Let's go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Steps away to his left. And a nice job there defensively to contain him and get him to the ground a few yards short of the first down marker. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk. And how about this, a fake? And this is caught. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. The result there is the offense is going to come back on the field. A first down as they get 12 on the fake punt. Elsewhere across the league, 4th quarter action in Los Angeles. And the Rams have opened it up to lead by a couple of touchdowns now. Jared Goff dominant in this one. 4 touchdown passes. They'll run here with Humphrey. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and it's a first down, 49ers. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment.
Holding.
Let's see what our referee says. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Hey, 50 to mark.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him, and that is now sack number 18 on the season for him.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
They'll look to throw here. And the pressure gets to him again.
It has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
All day, baby, all day.
Back to throw. He wants it all for the end zone. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Here comes the 49ers punter now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Mike 54. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up, D. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike.
Hey, Foxtrot. 54 is fire.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late.